Just before the homeless man died, he untied the leash from the dog's neck. The dog, unaware of the gravity of the situation, thought its owner was setting it free and looked up with a face full of reluctance. But then, the man replaced the leash with a stronger iron chain, securing the other end to himself. It wasn't until days later that the dog realized its owner intended to make it die alongside him. The dog sat there in a daze, heartbroken, not understanding why its owner would do this. Suddenly, it realized that it needed to survive because it had not yet fulfilled a promise made to its first owner. But it was trapped, surrounded by rubbish, and there was nothing to eat. Fresh water was in sight, but despite its desperate efforts, it couldn't break free from the iron chain's grip. Exhausted, it lay down, resigned to its fate. Time passed quickly, with every second feeling like an eternity. Soon, the dog could no longer stand, and all it could do was lie on the ground, weakly awaiting death's call. Just as it was fading, two kind-hearted boys discovered it. They rushed to unchain the dog, and before it could even thank them, it darted to the river and finally drank the life-saving water. Having narrowly escaped death, the dog began searching for the way home. But soon, it was spotted by a pack of wolves, which began stalking it from afar. Sensing the danger, the dog was terrified and barked furiously, trying to summon the courage to scare off the wolves. But the wolves were not about to let an easy meal escape. They chased the dog into the mountains, where cliffs surrounded them. No matter how much the dog barked, the wolves closed in step by step, eventually launching a vicious attack. The dog was quickly covered in wounds from their bites. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, the wolves suddenly stopped their assault. The dog saw, not far away, a fierce cougar staring coldly at the wolves. Before the wolves could react, the cougar leapt into their midst, launching a ferocious attack. The wolves were no match for the cougar, and soon they fled in all directions. It was only then that the dog realized this cougar was the same cub it had once cared for. Long ago, while returning home, the dog had heard a gunshot. Following the sound, it came upon the body of a dead cougar. Two humans appeared, and the dog quickly hid in the bushes. There, it found a newborn cub, whose mother had just been shot. Moved by compassion, the dog decided to care for the cub, staying until it was old enough to hunt for itself before reluctantly leaving. Now, to the dog's surprise, they had been reunited. They nuzzled each other, expressing their deep affection and longing. The cougar tenderly licked the dog's wounds, its eyes full of concern and love for its mother figure. But the dog hadn't forgotten the promise it made to its original owner. The unwavering determination to return home was etched deep in its heart. The dog knew it had to continue its journey. Before parting, they touched paws and said a sorrowful goodbye. When hungry, the dog would steal food from supermarkets, and when thirsty, it drank from rivers. Even after being hit by a car and left disabled, it continued pressing forward with unwavering resolve. Fueled by sheer willpower, the dog journeyed for 3 long years, crossing over 100 days and nights and covering more than 700 kilometers. Finally, after all that time, the dog returned to its owner's side.